What is up, YouTube? It is Drex and I am back with another video. So I want to try something new over here. I know I do a lot of pickup videos over here, but I really don't talk about like the stuff I have in my collection so far. And I wanted to start off with my PlayStation 1 collection. So, hopefully if these videos, receive good feedback, I'll probably continue doing them. But, nevertheless, let's get started. So, first off, we got Sci-Fi Filter 1. Let me see if I can get the light away from that. The lighting kind of sucks down here, and my ring light is kind of too bright. We got Siphon Filter 2, Siphon Filter 3. That's actually one of the last ones I enjoyed in the series until the one on PSP. And we got the Namco Museum. So you're going to see a lot of puzzle games and older games in this collection because some of these belong to my cousin before she gave me a lot of these games. That's all she really played was like a lot of arcade classics and a lot of puzzle games. So you're going to be seeing those periodically in stream. The reason why I have those because they kind of mean a lot to me because she gave them to me. So kind of have some low sentimental value. We got Tomb Raider 2. We got the first Spyro. I just want to go on record too. I don't have too many Spyro and Crash games. Unfortunately, I actually had all those at one point, but I ended up selling them a long time ago. I actually had a bigger PS1 collection at one point, but I had to make I had to make ends meet when I was younger, so to get things that I needed. So we got Soulblade, the beginning of Soul Calibur. I guess going over here, we can just start talking about my loose games that don't have complete cases without manuals. So we got Bloody Roar 1, 2. We got Smackdown 2. Kind of holographic. And we got Apocalypse. That's the game where you play as Bruce Lee. It's actually a game that Activision worked on. Crazy. They probably forgot all about this game, surprisingly. Next up, we got Bombing Islands. It's kind of... I kind of got Bomberman vibes from this, but very nice game. It was in her collection, so my cousin's collection. So hey, why not? Next up, we got Tarzan. I like my Disney movies, so very good game to play. Nice platformer. We got Erdice. God Bless This Ring. So definitely a good game to play. I showed that not long ago in my pickups video, along with Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero. Next up, we got the Fifth Element, another Activision gem. Showed it in my last pickups video too. We got Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. We got one of the games, and the most popular games on PlayStation, the original Resident Evil. We got Mega Man Legends. Or Mega Man 64 on the Nintendo 64 console. We got OG Tekken. I didn't really do not like the music in the OG Tekken game, but when it came to Tekken 2 and Tekken 3, that's when it got a lot better. And then it became perfect in the later games. Twisted Metal 2, which I will say arguably is one of the best ones in the series ever. You go fight me if you don't like it. If you disagree with me, I think it's the best one. So I stand firm on it. Next up, we got Metal Gear Solid. Now, I actually had the black case of this, but I ended up giving it to a friend because I know he really wanted it so badly. But it doesn't bother me having the greatest hits case. It still holds sentimental value to me. Plus, hey, I think I had the VR missions in disc in it, so let me just open it up real quick. Yeah, so there's nothing to complain about. Yeah, so up. We got Rugrats. I have a soft spot for this game, so no shame in my game. That was actually an awesome, fun game. Got the Die Hard trilogy. Very awesome games as well. Ironically, speaking of Crash and Spyro, I got Crash, Bandicoot, and Warped. I'm really not on a hunt to get the original copies of these games because I already have the remakes right now, so I'm kind of satisfied already. So I don't think I need them. So we're gonna start going one by one as much as I can with these, so bear with me. You got Reboot. If you ever grew up watching Toonami, or if you grew up in Canada, I know the show was very popular in the 90s, so I'm pretty sure it was hard for not any kid that grew up in the 90s not to miss this. So Reboot, awesome game. It was actually by EA that did it. This right here, this is my shit. Parasite Eve. I actually I might stream this around Christmas. I'm debating. The thing that's hard about this game, since this is like a horror-based game, you want to play it around Christmas because it's based around Christmas time. But I don't know. I can't ever see myself playing it around Christmas. Halloween. I like playing around Christmas time, so that's just the vibes I get from it because it's in the winter time, and the setting is Christmas, so why not? Next up, we got Spider-Man 2 Inter-Electro. This game is going for a lot now because I guess there was a shortage on this, and I guess there was a lot of things that need to be edited, because of 9/11. But yeah, I actually have the first game, but I have it on Dreamcast. Same with Dino Crisis, and you're gonna be seeing that game too soon. So we got Pac-Man World, another awesome game. Very difficult. I remember when I first started playing this, it was like kind of weird at first, but I ended up loving it, later on. And I really wish they would re-release these games, like maybe do a remaster, put it on a store for a bit, both Xbox and PlayStation. I'd be okay with it, even the Switch. These are very memorable games, so I think it's heavily overlooked. Tommy Tallarico, before he was doing the Amico, he ironically did the music in that game, so that's kind of a ironic thing to mention. Next up, we have Alundra. So I thought that was pretty cool, a pretty awesome game, RPG. I beat it a long time ago. The only problem I have with this is that I wish that I had the damn poster map that came with this, but nevertheless, it's still perfect. It's hologram, so I can't complain. But very memorable RPG game that I love to death. We got Medieval. I got the remake, of course, but I've always had love for that. They said when we couldn't afford games back then, I used to play on this Pizza Hut disc, a lot of Pizza Hut demo discs. I think I had so many of those, or the PlayStation Underground disc. Love my Road Rash games, so Road Rash Jailbreak. Oh, definitely another awesome one, Breath of Fire. When I was I think PlayStation 1, I loved a lot of RPGs back then, but I think the PlayStation 1 made me appreciate RPGs a lot more, and that's why I used to play them all the time. But this is probably why I got burned out with them over time, because I played them so much on OG PlayStation and PlayStation 2. So we got Parappa the Rapper, very awesome game. Gets difficult when you get to the 4th level. I have a hard time with that game on the 4th level personally. So I'll just put these two together. We got Mega Man X4 and 5. Awesome soundtrack, awesome game to play. I always chose to play as Zero, because Zero was always better than Mega Man X to me personally. Go fight me in the comments, fanboys. I don't care. I know you guys are going to vouch for freaking Mega Man, or vouch for X. So, hey. Brave Fencer Musashi. This game actually meant a lot to me, and I was okay with spending the amount of money from an eBay seller on it, because I remember, hey, this game held a lot of sentimental value to me. A friend of mine who I used to play this with had ended up passing, and he unfortunately had sold the game way before he had passed, and I used to have a lot of memories playing this with him. So hate to tie video games and fun to some personal stuff, but hey, no shame in my game, so holds a lot of sentimental value. Hopefully I can stream this one day, because this is a very awesome game. I actually like the sequel to PlayStation 2 when they try modernizing the story a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. So I'll put these two together, Bushido Blade 1 and 2. Man, I'm shocked that Squaresoft hasn't even, well, now that Square acquired Squaresoft, because they were two different companies, I'm shocked they haven't tried to ever redo anything with those ever again. Right here, we have a kind of a Mortal Kombat ripoff, but it's Wu-Tang. You can't, what is there to complain about? Wu-Tang. It's one of my favorite games. I always expected that because my guy, my favorite rapper in Wu-Tang, so him and U-God, so those were my favorite characters to pick. I never really was good with the battle system and the so-called fatality system in this game, so I just kind of took it with a grain of salt a little bit, but I was on a hunt for getting a controller a long time ago, the PlayStation 1 controller that was shaped like the Wu-Tang Clan symbol, but I said, I don't think it's really worth it. Plus, that's going to be weird as hell playing on that, so why the hell do I need to get that? So, for any reason. So, awesome game. Next up, I don't have the other X-Men in the game, so we got X-Men Mutant Academy. This came out right when the popularity of the first X-Men movie came out in early 2000s, so Very awesome game to play right there. Fighting platformer, those were pretty good when Activision was doing those. We got Driver, very awesome game. I prefer to play this actually on PC a little more because of the freedom you have in it, but nevertheless, a great game. I love Driver 1 and 2. Unfortunately, I don't own Driver 2 in this collection. I should probably get it later on, but Driver 1, one of my favorites. Driver 3 really wasn't like one of my favorite games, so I kind of had a hard time adjusting to that. So, I have to just be honest. Aladdin, Zero's Revenge. This is actually a really good game. The only problem I have with it though is that it's not. It feels like if you ever grew up in the 90s and you remember the Aladdin TV series, it was a lot like that. It just felt like an episode to that because like I was not satisfied when I finally beat this game because it was hard as shit. Like Disney made hard ass games. I don't care what no one says, but this was really like it was great. It felt good to for the build up, but like when you got to the last boss, that was it. Like you didn't get like a really good ending. Personally, I felt, but hey, it is what it is. Still a fun game to play. Hard, but hey, if you like it, go ahead. You got Tekken 3 in the collection, so I'm gonna start moving games off to the side over here. I'll have to reorganize this anyway, so no sweat. Got Tekken 2. We got the Mega Man 8 Anniversary Collector's Edition, and so shout out to him solo. I ended up giving him one of the other greatest hits copy I had, so I just got the black label now. When he came in with me to it was Gaming Classic. We got Tenchu. I think no, this is Tenchu 2. Yeah, yep, Tenchu 2. I couldn't recognize because of the crappy label that's hiding the 2. But yep, Tenchu 2. Of course, it doesn't look anything like that because this is how the OG Tenchu looks, just like this. Badass cover. Next up, we got Twisted Metal 3. It's still a fun game. I still think, I'm not biased, but I still think Twisted Metal 2 is the best one. But still a great one to play. We got Blasto. God rest Phil Hartman, who passed away around the time this game had came out. This is actually an exclusive for PlayStation, but yeah, very fun game to play, very humorous. I might stream this someday, but very great game to play. So, Mr. Driller, this actually belonged to my cousin, so one of her favorite games. So yep, she liked a lot of puzzle stuff, and I got it. I believe this is where it was in her collection because I don't think I ever bought this ever in my life. But yeah, SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge. Very nice time waster to play. Ironically, it plays just like the damn Game Boy Advance port of it, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if this was the Game Boy Advance port on this game because it just plays like a platformer. But hey, nice, can't complain. Next up, we got Gex 3. When Square actually, Square actually just sold off the Idol Studios, I think. So now that's by, I can't think of the name of the company right now that bought it, but so I don't think we're ever going to get a revival of the Gex games or a remaster. But I thought they were pretty fun for the time being when we had them. So I don't have any of the other Gex games. I know Gex 2 was probably the most popular one in the series, but yeah. Gex 1 was pretty interesting, but it wasn't my favorite. But Gex 2 and 3 were pretty all badass. And right here we have one of my favorite RPGs. Because the reason why I love this game a lot, because it just wasn't an RPG. It was like a fighter as well. It felt like a fighter with mecha involved in it, in martial arts. And that's why I love it so much, Xeno Gears. I think, the most I ever spent beating this game, I think it took me at least about 24 hours to beat it. But I would like to stream this one day and just like not do a speed run, but just like a thorough gameplay, of me playing it, no matter how long it takes. So, yeah. Xeno Gears, if you haven't played it, play it now, get it on a PlayStation 3 store, and that's what I recommend now. Some of these games I'm showing now are pretty damn expensive, but they're on the PlayStation 3 store at the moment, so, get those while you can, and that's all I encourage you guys to do. We got Vigilante 8. Obviously, Twisted Metal was the popular thing, and, people wanted it, so why not, People really, people was really trying to, copy the formula, so I thought it was pretty good. Ironically, I never really played it on Dreamcast or PlayStation 1, and I just realized that the case is the absolute shits right now. But anyway, getting back to it, you know, very awesome game to play. Kind of looks cool in a lot of ways now I'm thinking about it, because Vigilante 8 was kind of like one of those games, you know, wreckage and stuff. And oh wow, I didn't know I had original Gex. I'm looking at it right now. Weird. I did not know I had this in my collection. So that's awesome. Crystal Dynamics. Yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome. I don't remember that being in my collection, now that I think about it. Unless somebody had gave that to me and I bought it in a bundle. I bought a lot of these PlayStation games too in a bundle a while back, so it's kind of, you gotta bear with me. I haven't collected PlayStation games in a long time, but it took like a 10-year break from doing them, and now I just started collecting them again. Rival Schools, unfortunately I could not get the complete case of this, so this is actually like a case that someone printed online and copied, so I'm gonna have to try and get the case if I can, but I got the disc are authentic. It's just, you know, the case is not, and so I don't have any manuals or anything. So Rival Schools and the sequel to it, Project Justice, are like very expensive to get nowadays, so that sucks. I know Project Justice goes for almost $300. We got Bomberman World, another awesome game to play. Puzzle. We got Colony Wars, which is actually a pretty damn decent game too. So, yep. Next, Tetris. Like I said, my cousin played my female cousin, and well, not female, but my cousin, she played a lot of those games, so that's why I got a lot of puzzle games. Colony Wars Vengeance. It was like the sequel. This was hers as well. Atari Edition Redux. Roll Away. I don't know how the fuck I got this game. I probably got it off my boss, because some of these games I bought were in a bundle, and I got from my boss a while back. So, my old boss from my company before me and him both left. We got Starblade. So yeah, that was like an arcade game. I think this is like a sequel to Starblade. It was in a loose case. So if anybody's familiar with the Starblade game, yeah. Next up we got Fear Effect, which is an awesome game right here. Let me move the camera to the side a little bit, shift it over. We have Resident Evil 2. This is actually one of the last. I actually owned this as a kid, so I'm shocked that I kept it in good condition as much as I did. But yeah, this is like around the time I got my PlayStation 2, I started collecting PlayStation 1 games like on and off. So I think I took it serious like 10 years ago, more seriously. But yeah, this is definitely mine. So got the Leon disc with the manual, and we have the Claire disc. So I love the Claire disc, obviously, because Claire is my favorite. We got X-Men Mutant Academy 2. So ironically, I used to play a lot of PlayStation 1 games on my PlayStation 2 because I couldn't afford to get a lot of PlayStation 2 games like that. My mom couldn't afford to get them for me, so I would just go to GameStop or EB Games or Funko Land and just start getting these games for cheap. We got G Police, which is a very nice game. Rail shooter. Oh yeah, I'll probably say it's a rail shooter, if anything. Next up we have Vandal Hearts. I'm still pissed off to this day. I'm gonna tell you why I'm pissed off, because Blockbuster used to be terrible. So obviously I don't mind showing this address because this establishment is no longer, there, but I'm pissed off because like this disc case looks like this. A little game they're promoting, one of the best RPGs ever, and that's like $500 now, ironically. But I can't peel this label off, and I'm just like, why the fuck did you guys even do this? But yeah, what makes it even more bad is that they did this. Ah, shit. I can't put it on. I'm not worried about it right now. But like, they wrote on the disc. I hate that shit so much. Like, even like with Nintendo 64 cartridges. Like, they'll just write, in permanent marker, and you can't get it off with alcohol. Like, I guess the best approach to do it is you have to take another Sharpie and, like, scribble over it and then, like, wipe it off afterwards. I'm like, I hate that. That's like one of the biggest pet peeves, like, when it comes to retro gaming. There's another puzzle game. I'm wondering why I'm pretty sure you guys are asking, like, why the hell do you have all these puzzle games? Like, why'd you take them? Intelligent Cube, I don't care. That's one of my favorites. So, no shame in my game. I love puzzle games too, so I play all games. We got Final Fantasy VIII, one of my personal favorites of the series because I love Squall Leonhardt, one of my favorite protagonists. Got Casper. You know, nice little platformer. I'm gonna move it over a little bit. Let's move forward. Uh-oh, we got Silent Hill. Caught that from Battle not long ago. I'll move my memory cards over. We got A Bug's Life. Like I said, I love my Disney games, so I'm not shaming my game. We got Dino Crisis 2. Now, I actually own the first Dino Crisis, but I own it on Dreamcast. And, you know, reason, unfortunately, I wish that there was a port for this. Like I said, this one actually took me off guard because I always thought that Dino Crisis, you know, I always thought it was going to be a survival horror, but it's not. You get points for killing dinosaurs. So, if you want a good survival horror experience, just get Dino Crisis. The reason why I got it on Dreamcast because I personally liked Capcom games when they reported on Dreamcast more, you know. So, yeah, that's why I got Resident Evil on here. I would have got Resident Evil 2 on Dreamcast, but it was hard as hell for me to find back in the day, so that's why I just got it on PlayStation instead and called it a day. So, yep, that's why I got, and I got Code Veronica on it too. So, Mortal Kombat Special Forces, another crappy spin-off in the Mortal Kombat gang series, but it's still a guilty pleasure for me, just like Mythologies is. So, hey, can't complain. Kuji the Heartless, another Square game that's been sold off to Embracer Plus. That's the name of that company. Fuck, I didn't think of it until now. So, Kuji the Heartless. Awesome game. Richard Roundtree, who was the guy who played Shaft in original Shaft movies, he did the voice of Kuji. So, the goal is to save his wife in the game, who's been kidnapped by Baron Samedi, I believe. Now we got R4 Racer Type 4. And man, if you haven't played this game, you missing out. If you are on that, you can get it from the PlayStation 3 store or the PlayStation program, that the service that they rolling out in a few days. Definitely don't sleep on this one. The soundtrack in this game is amazing. It's so badass that they gave you the soundtrack itself because they knew that this is total hot fire. So don't sleep on it. I can't remember if I got this damn game from Funcoland or EB Games, but I know it wasn't from GameStop. But yep, Jackie Chan Stuntmaster. It's the best I can get for it. I got the manual, and I got the disc, but not the complete case, and I'm okay with that. Very fun game, arcade-like game. So we got Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I don't know how the hell my cousin had this. I didn't think that she was really into stuff like this, but she was really serious about her puzzle games. Got Final Fantasy 7, and I do not think this has the misprint on it. Nope, it does not have the misprint on it. But hey, it's Final Fantasy 7. Can't complain. Another pointless, you know, puzzle game, but on sentimental value to me. Mr. Domino. Got Lion King Symbolized Adventure. This is actually kind of a downgrade from the Sega Genesis and Lion King game, but what I like about it though is that it covers both stories of Simba and both Lion King 1 and 2, so nice time waster. It's pretty easy. I'm actually shocked that Activision even had any rights to this, but then again, I guess they was pumping out a lot of Disney games around that time, you know, both Bug's Life and Tarzan. So I said, I guess they said, why not? Let's capitalize on the most popular 90s Disney film. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. One of my favorite games. I actually like the PC port a little more of it, but I like this one too, especially like when you the troll level where you escape the troll. It's one of my favorites, so why not? Another interesting game here, puzzle game. Got another puzzle game right here, Puzzle Star Sweep. Last but not least, well, not last but not least, we're almost coming up. We got Final Fantasy Tactics, pretty awesome game. I actually like playing it on my Game Boy Advance more, but I'm actually thinking about getting it now that I think about it. Last but not least, we have Carnage Heart. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, nice little mecha shooter. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't have a lot of, you know, big titles over here, and I don't have a lot of RPG titles. I know I have a lot of puzzle titles, but, you know, I just thought I'd give it a share. You know, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tell me what your favorite PS1 games are. And, you know, hopefully, you know, I can continue to do these kind of videos. I just wanted to, you know, see what kind of reception I get off of this. So, yeah. Other than that, this is Drex, and I am out.